Okay, I'm going to be trying something new this year, trying to do a little bit of YouTube work, video shorts. So today I'm at the Diamond for Media Day. Hopefully the wind blowing is not making this super noisy, plus a lot of stuff going on in the stadium in here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the opening day rosters for the minor leagues, since the minor league season is going to be starting tomorrow actually, and we now have rosters for all three teams. The first thing that kind of pops out about this year's minor league teams is there's a little bit of a bummer at the top. Bryce Eldridge is not being assigned to any team for opening day after an entire spring of dealing with some wrist inflammation. I actually saw what I think are the only 2 at-bats he took at minor league camp this spring. Obviously wasn't quite ready to go. It's going to take him a little bit of time to get that healed and get back and ready to where he's good to go in active games. So we're going to start the year without the #1 prospect in the system. Hopefully once he gets back on the field, he'll pick right up where he left off. But even without Eldridge, it's interesting this year. There's no kind of like must-see TV. There's no affiliate that is the focal point for attention, because the talent has been really dispersed, interestingly, across the organization. I think I was looking at my top 8 or 9 prospects in the top 50, and at least for the full season, and none of the affiliates have more than one guy. Johnny Level and Reiner Arias are both in extended. They'll probably both start in ACL when that season gets going next month in mid-May. But other than that, it's like James Tibbs is in Eugene. Joe Whitman's here in Richmond. Carson Wisenhunt is in Sacramento. It's very evenly distributed, so that every team has something. No team is like, this is a superstar team, like one of those San Jose teams from 4 years ago that has like the top 5 guys all stacked together. So that's an interesting development this year. And as a result, there aren't necessarily sort of great little nuggets here and there. I think the most interesting unit for any of the teams is clearly Sacramento's pitching staff, with the 3 Carsons, with Trevor McDonald, with Mason Black, Kyle Harrison, who's not technically a prospect, but still very important to the team's future. That is clearly the #1 unit for any of the affiliates this year, and is the biggest group of important prospects. After that, I go to Eugene's outfield, which is a pretty interesting unit. James Tibbs, last year's #1 prospect, starts there. Bo Davidson, who was the biggest breakout guy of 2024, starts there. Jonah Cox, who's a really fun athlete and a great little prospect as well, should be playing center field most of the time there. If Lisbel Diaz had made it up there as well, it would be even more interesting, but I suspect the limited playing time opportunities that would have come from having all 4 of them is probably why he's back in San Jose. But that Eugene outfield unit is really interesting. And then here in Richmond, the infield unit is not top prospects, but with Sabine Ceballos, Iverson Arteaga, Diego Velasquez. That's a group of really good baseball players who can help the team win in a lot of ways, and probably are going to climb up the ladder from here. Once Bryce Eldridge is activated, I suspect he'll come here too, which will make this infield a really good unit, and a lot of guys who are on the major league track. After that, it's going to be kind of the ACL. There's a really interesting group of kids, mostly the international kids, who are going to be in the ACL when that starts play in May, with Johnny Level, with Reiner Arias, with Oliver Tejada and Santiago Camacho, Argenis Kayama. That group's going to be really interesting to watch. And then, of course, way down at the DSL, Josué Gonzalez, who's probably going to be a #1 prospect in this system at some point. He'll get started in early June, probably. So there's no one team that sort of has all the talent this year. It's sort of spread around evenly. That's good for me, because that means looking at every team is important. And I can't wait to see where this season goes. We're kicking it off tomorrow night. Come Monday, we'll have the first big slate of action at ThereAreGiants.com. Minor Lines, which comes out Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, covering the Giant system. Thanks, everyone. Talk soon.